Hey, Patriots Nation. We're back with another exclusive update on everything happening in New England. Before we jump in, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button so you never miss any breaking Patriots news. The NFL world has been vibrating with whispers that feel louder than ever. And when people around the league start leaning closer to their screens, lowering their voices, and saying this might actually be happening, you know something massive is brewing. The idea of Travis Michael Kelce, a name that has been synonymous with dominance, swagger, and postseason brilliance, suddenly being linked to the New England Patriots feels almost surreal. This is not the kind of rumor that quietly fades away after a few hours. This is the kind that grows legs, gains momentum, and starts to feel uncomfortably real for fans on both sides. Sources close to the situation suggest that conversations behind closed doors have been intense, emotional, and strategic, with front offices weighing legacy against future vision. Kelce, drafted in the third round back in 2013, has built his entire professional identity in Kansas City, winning 3 Super Bowls and redefining what the tight end position can be in the modern game. Now, the mere suggestion that the Patriots could be positioning themselves to bring him into Foxborough has shaken traditional loyalties and reignited debates about dynasties, power shifts, and desperation moves. Nothing about this feels casual. Everything about it feels deliberate, calculated, and potentially historic, as if the league itself is holding its breath, waiting to see which rumor becomes reality. What makes this speculation even more explosive is the timing and the context surrounding both franchises. On one side, you have Kansas City, a team that has leaned heavily on continuity, chemistry, and a core group of stars that feel untouchable. On the other, you have New England, a franchise that built its reputation on bold decisions, ruthless efficiency, and the willingness to move on from comfort when opportunity presents itself. Insiders are suggesting that this potential exchange did not come from nowhere, but from weeks of subtle signals, internal discussions, and quiet feelers sent through league intermediaries. The Patriots, according to the rumor mill, see Kelce not just as a player, but as a cultural reset button, a statement that they are ready to reclaim relevance at the highest level. Meanwhile, questions are swirling about Kansas City's long-term cap strategy, future draft capital, and whether the front office believes it is better to move a legend a year early rather than a year late. None of this is being said out loud by executives, but the silence itself is speaking volumes. Fans reading between the lines are connecting dots that feel increasingly hard to ignore. There's also the human element that makes this rumor so compelling and so uncomfortable. Travis Kelce is not just another star player. He is a personality, a leader, and a symbol of an era. He played college football with the Cincinnati Bearcats, carving out his identity long before becoming a household name. And that journey matters in moments like this. People close to him are rumored to be torn between loyalty and curiosity, between staying where he became a champion and exploring what might be the final defining chapter of his career. The Patriots, if these whispers hold any weight, are selling him on legacy, on the idea of being the missing piece in a new story, not just a continuation of an old one. That pitch alone has fans arguing online about whether greatness is tied to one uniform or to the courage to rewrite your narrative. This is why the rumor refuses to die. It is not just about schemes, contracts, or depth charts. It is about identity, ambition, and whether even the most iconic partnerships in the NFL are truly permanent. As the speculation spreads, former players, analysts, and even rival executives are quietly offering their own interpretations. Some believe this is a leverage play, designed to force Kansas City into a difficult internal conversation. Others think New England is intentionally letting the rumor breathe to test public reaction and gauge locker room sentiment. What is undeniable is that the Patriots have a history of shocking the league when people least expect it, and that history alone gives this rumor credibility. The idea of Kelce wearing a different uniform feels wrong to some fans, but strangely inevitable to others who understand the business side of football. When people say the NFL is a league of constant motion, this is exactly what they mean. The ground feels unstable because power is always shifting. Whether this trade truly materializes or not, the conversation has sparked is already reshaping how fans view loyalty, team building, and the cost of chasing greatness. Behind all of this noise is the quiet acknowledgement that both franchises are at crossroads. Kansas City must eventually prepare for life beyond its current core, no matter how painful that idea may be. New England, meanwhile, is desperate to accelerate its return to relevance rather than endure a slow rebuild. Bringing in a figure like Kelce would instantly change expectations, energize a fan base, and send a clear message to the rest of the league that the Patriots are done waiting. That kind of message does not come cheap, and it does not come without risk. Rumors suggest that the price discussed internally would be significant, involving future assets and a willingness to absorb pressure if things do not work out. But this is the NFL, where boldness is often rewarded and caution can lead to irrelevance. As the hours pass and the speculation refuses to cool down, one thing becomes clear. This is not just another rumor destined to fade into the background. It has too much smoke, too many interested parties, and too much emotional weight attached to it. Fans are refreshing their feeds, analysts are choosing their words carefully, and executives are undoubtedly monitoring every reaction. Whether Travis Kelce ultimately remains a Chief or becomes the face of a shocking new chapter in New England, the fact that this conversation feels plausible tells you everything you need to know about where the league is right now. Unpredictable, ruthless, and endlessly fascinating, the NFL thrives on moments like this, when even the most unthinkable scenarios start to feel possible. The second wave of speculation dives even deeper into what this potential move would mean once the initial shock wears off. If the Patriots truly manage to land Travis Kelce, the ripple effects would be felt far beyond the tight end position. Coaches would be forced to redesign offensive philosophies overnight. Defensive coordinators across the league would start losing sleep, and young players in the locker room would suddenly find themselves sharing space with a living blueprint of excellence. Rumors suggest that New England's leadership sees Kelce as more than a target or a blocker, but as an on-field extension of the coaching staff, someone capable of setting standards without saying a word. This is the kind of influence that cannot be measured on a stat sheet, and it is exactly why the speculation feels so intense. For a franchise known for valuing intelligence, discipline, and situational mastery, Kelce represents a rare convergence of skill and football IQ that does not come around often. From Kansas City's perspective, the rumor has sparked an entirely different emotional response. Some insiders hint at internal resistance, a feeling that moving Kelce would be akin to tearing out a piece of the team's soul. Others quietly acknowledge that the NFL does not reward sentimentality, and that even legends eventually become leverage points in larger strategic plans. The idea that the Chiefs might consider such a move suggests confidence in their ability to evolve, reload, and redefine themselves once again. Fans are split between outrage and reluctant understanding, torn between gratitude for what Kelce has already delivered and fear of what his absence might expose. This tension is exactly what fuels speculation, because it reflects a real dilemma rather than a fabricated storyline. There is also the broader league-wide implication to consider. If a player of Kelce's stature can realistically be linked to a move like this, it sends a message that no one is truly untouchable. That message alone changes how front offices negotiate, how players view their own futures, and how fans emotionally invest in long-term narratives. The Patriots, if they are indeed serious, will be signaling a return to their old philosophy of exploiting market inefficiencies and capitalizing on moments of uncertainty. Kansas City, by entertaining even the possibility, would be acknowledging the harsh reality that sustained dominance requires constant reinvention. This is not drama for drama's sake. This is the league operating exactly as designed, brutal and brilliant at the same time. What keeps this rumor alive is not just the logic behind it, but the personalities involved. Travis Kelce has never been one to shy away from big moments or big challenges. The thought of him embracing a new environment, new expectations, and a skeptical audience feels oddly consistent with the confidence he has shown throughout his career. At the same time, the Patriots are not a franchise that chases stars for headlines alone. If they are involved, there is almost certainly a deeper plan at play, one that goes beyond immediate buzz and in a long-term structure. That alignment of ambition is why people around the league are taking this seriously, even if no one is willing to go on record just yet. As speculation turns into debate, and debate turns into obsession, the emotional stakes continue to rise. Fans imagine scenarios, analysts simulate schemes, and commentators argue over whether this would be genius or madness. The truth likely sits somewhere in between, as it often does in the NFL. Big moves are rarely clean, rarely universally praised, and rarely without consequence. But they're also what define eras. If this trade were to materialize, it would instantly become one of those moments people reference years later, a pivot point where everything changed. Even if nothing ultimately happens, the fact that this rumor feels credible speaks volumes about the current state of the league. It reveals anxiety, ambition, and opportunity colliding at the highest level. It reminds everyone that the NFL is not just about games played on the field, but about decisions made in quiet rooms, far from cameras and microphones. Travis Kelce to the Patriots may still live in the realm of speculation, but it is a speculation powerful enough to expose truths about both franchises. And sometimes, in this league, the rumors tell you just as much as the reality ever could. The second part of this rumor-driven narrative pushes even further into the emotional and strategic chaos that such a move would ignite across the league. If the Patriots are truly circling Travis Kelce, then the conversations inside New England are likely intense, layered, and filled with calculated risk. This would not be about chasing headlines or selling jerseys, but about restoring an identity that once terrified opponents. Insiders speculate that the Patriots view Kelce as a stabilizing force, someone who can instantly raise the football intelligence of an entire offense. His presence alone would force defenses to reveal their intentions earlier, create mismatches that cannot be coached away, and give younger players a living example of how preparation meets execution. This is the type of acquisition that changes how a team practices, how it studies film, and how it believes in itself. The rumor suggests that New England is tired of incremental progress and wants a leap, even if that leap comes with controversy and criticism. Bringing in a three-time Super Bowl champion would signal impatience with mediocrity and a willingness to gamble on greatness, even if the cost is steep and the pressure relentless. From the outside, looking in, Kansas City's role in this speculation feels equally fascinating. The Chiefs are not strangers to bold decisions, but they are also deeply aware of the emotional bond between Kelce and the fan base. Rumors suggest that if discussions have happened, they were framed not as a rejection of Kelce's value, but as a reflection of long-term planning. The NFL has a way of forcing uncomfortable choices, especially when salary structures, future drafts, and aging curves collide. Some around the league believe Kansas City might see this as an opportunity to reshape its offensive identity before decline becomes unavoidable. Others argue that moving a player like Kelce is a risk that could haunt the franchise for years. This internal conflict is precisely why the rumor feels alive. It reflects a genuine tension between honoring the past and protecting the future, a tension every successful franchise eventually faces. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe and leave a like. Your support helps us bring you the latest updates on the New England Patriots. And of course, drop your thoughts in the comments. We love hearing from Patriots fans. The locker room dynamics add another layer of intrigue to the speculation. Imagine the ripple effect of Kelce walking into a Patriots facility, instantly becoming the most accomplished player in the room. Leadership hierarchies would shift overnight, expectations would rise, and excuses would evaporate. Young players would be forced to match his intensity or be exposed by contrast. Veterans would either rally around his presence or feel the pressure of comparison. This is not a neutral change. It is an emotional shockwave. Rumors indicate that New England believes it needs exactly that, a jolt strong enough to reset standards without requiring a full teardown. In this sense, Kelce becomes less of a roster move and more of a cultural weapon, designed to accelerate growth through discomfort. That philosophy aligns eerily well with what the Patriots have historically embraced, which only adds fuel to the speculation. League-wide reaction has also become part of the story, even if unofficial. Executives, according to whispers, are watching closely, not because they expect confirmation, but because they want to understand what this moment represents. If a franchise icon like Kelce can realistically be linked to a move like this, it shifts negotiation leverage everywhere. Players reassess loyalty, teams reassess timelines, and fans reassess assumptions they once thought were permanent. The NFL thrives on the illusion of stability, but moments like this expose how fragile that illusion really is. The Patriots, by simply being associated with this rumor, have reminded everyone that they're still capable of shaking the foundation of the league, even without stepping onto the field. What makes this speculation particularly compelling is how believable it feels when viewed through the lens of legacy. Travis Kelce has already secured his place among the greats, but legacy in the NFL is rarely static. It evolves with context, with choices, with endings. The idea that he might choose to write a final chapter somewhere unexpected resonates with a league built on reinvention. The Patriots offering him that opportunity, if true, would be betting that his hunger outweighs his comfort. That is a dangerous bet, but also one that has paid off for them in the past. This alignment of ambition and opportunity is why analysts refuse to dismiss the rumor outright, even in the absence of confirmation. That's it for today's update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving fresh and exclusive Patriots news, make sure to subscribe and hit like. We always appreciate hearing your opinions in the comments. See you in the next one, Patriots Nation.